Ever feel like you're stuck in a rut, lost direction, unsure of what you want to do? We all have been there, lost focus and vision. It's easily done. But what we can do is stop it from happening. It is good to always reevaluate our goals, our life plan, our work aspiration, and it is always vital to set time to do so. I want to welcome you to another episode of Shauna-Kay's Motivational Breeze. I do this because you need it. We all need it. That good energy that will change our minds about our limitations. Some strong positive conversations that will shift our lens from lack to abundance. We all need this kind of emotional diversity if we ought to be happy. It is such a privilege to have you listening from all over the world to Shauna-Kay's Motivational Breeze. Today we're talking about recapturing your vision 2020. And my very special guest is no other than Mr. Marshawn Young. Mr. Marshawn Young is a very dedicated, very purpose-driven, very resourceful young man full of zeal and vitality and passion for the love of Christ. Mr. Marshawn Young, it's a pleasure having you, and I welcome you to Shauna-Kay's Motivational Breeze.
Hi everyone. Hi, Miss Shauna-Kay. Thank
How
you for
are
having
you?
me.
It's a
And
pleasure having you.
I am all right.
Awesome.
I'm all right.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to go ahead and tell our listeners more about yourself.
All right. So I am Marshawn Young, as you know. I am a Levite psalmist, worship leader, slash gospel artist, and I am a legalist scholar in the legal field. I am now, I've last month I finished my master's in law
Wow,
and now
congratulations.
waiting to sit. Thank you. I'm now waiting to sit the New York bar, and that's pretty much about it. Simple
Awesome.
me.
Awesome. And you grew up in the cool hills of Mandeville, right?
That's right, Manchester, Mandeville.
Manchester. And for those of you who are not familiar with Mandeville, Mandeville can be found in the beautiful country of Jamaica and in the parish of Manchester. And that's where I hail from as well. So big up everyone in Mandeville. And
That's
you
right.
were also the former head boy of the Christiana High School. How was that journey? How was that journey for you?
That was a mind-blowing journey because I didn't expect it, but it happened, and I enjoyed every aspect of it. Didn't achieve much, but for the most part, I was grateful.
You were grateful. Awesome. And today we're talking about recapturing your vision. First, I want to talk about your story. How were you able to recapture your vision?
All right. So growing up, I always wanted to be either a doctor or a lawyer. And after finishing high school, not getting all of my subject and everything, I kind of wavered along the way,
Mm-hmm.
lost track of where I wanted to go and all of that. My grandparents took sick, and I had to help to take care of them. But while in the process, I was like, I need to get my life in order. So I revisited all of the things that I wanted to do during high school, during primary school, and I I'm not a fan. Nobody's a fan of blood, but being a doctor, you have to be around people with blood wounds and all of that. And I didn't like that, so I was like, okay, medicine is not gonna work for me. So law is what it is. So I started to venture in that area.
Okay. And you just spoke about revisiting, that you actually revisit the things that you want to do. Now, in the process of
That's right.
recapturing our vision, how important is the process of revisiting? You know, a person who is a dreamer, that person gets swamped with ideas, get excited, get overwhelmed. But how possible it is to revisit your vision in order to recapture it?
If you're like myself, if you write your visions down, if you write your goals down, then it is easy for you to revisit them. Or if you have a vision board or a dream board, then that's cool. Or if your memory is good and you can remember the things that you plan to embark on, then that is excellent. So it's easy for you to go back to that drawing board and look and do stuff that you did not accomplish, the things that you want to accomplish. So you go from there.
And also how living a Christ like life have enabled you or helped you to capture your vision, because you are a successful young man. And I know many of my listeners, my viewers who are watching, they would be very impressed at the level of success that you have gained. And I know that this is not just your own intellect or your own excellence, but how important it is when we capturing our vision, we have Christ in our midst.
Praise to God. Praise to God. That's all I can say. I mean, if I didn't trust or believe in God, I don't think I would actually accomplish the things that I've accomplished. Because there are many times I feel like just giving it up, stop, because it's not easy to embark on big dreams, big visions, and you don't have that financial support, or you don't have that big resource to accomplish them. So you're in your mind like, I can't do this, I won't do this, it's not going to work, it's not possible, it's not feasible, so let me just give this up. But my belief in Christ, I mean, if you're going to say I can do all things through Christ, then you have to believe it and you have to work in accordance to that. And that's what I did. So my belief in Christ is like my biggest, is the biggest, the important part of me, the important aspect that pushed me to finish or accomplish most of what I've accomplished.
Amen. Thank God. And I'm sure that your journey have not been a smooth one in recapturing your vision. When you have thought about who you want to be, and looking at the process of how to get there, I'm sure it wasn't anything looking like Beverly Hills, or it wasn't anything looking like Dubai. It wasn't anything that was actually looking beautiful. And by the grace of God, I do believe that you took that bold step to believe that God is gonna guide you all the way. And for many young people, especially young people who are looking, who are watching, and they're thinking about, like, what is this thing that they're talking about, recapturing my vision? And they're at a certain state, they have never been to a university, they have no jobs. They have not acquired anything in their high school years. But yet, still, you and I are here talking about recapturing your vision. To those people, like, what will you say to them right now?
Listen, there are opportunities in the world. It's just for you to find it. Because when I embarked on my educational journey, because law takes a lot of money, I didn't have anything. I didn't have the big money in my pocket or in the bank, in my bank account, to embark on this stream. But I realized that there are opportunities out there. All I have to do is just find them. There are scholarships. There are probably loans that you have to take, and just say, hey, I have to take this loan, and later on I'll pay it back. That type of vibes. So there are things to it. So never you think that you can't accomplish it. Never you think that I don't have the finance, so I am not going to go on. I'm not going to do this, because, as I said before, there are opportunities there. It's just for you to research, do your research. Google, I can't stop stressing it. Google is your best friend. So do your research. There are a lot of schools out there in the world, not only your home country, but in the world, that have scholarships for international students. So Google them, research them, and you'll be amazed when you see the amount of opportunities that are out there.
I am a firm believer of having someone around you who will push you, someone who will motivate you. And in recapturing your vision, can you speak to how important it was for you to have people around you who helped to push you to where you are now?
All right. One of my biggest motivation is my mother. My mother is my biggest motivation. But outside of her, I have friends that who had big dreams too, or still have big dreams, and seeing them embarking on it and seeing them working towards it, it pushes me, it helps me, And because we are friends that we network together, then each one help the other. So it's good to have person in your corner that sees your dream and push you to it. If you're in a corner and the person don't motivate you to go to the next level, then you're not in the corner that you're in, you need to get out of it. Period. So you have to have persons who will see your vision and help you to push forward into that vision. Praying people too. It's important to have praying people with you. Not just people who just say, all right, that's a good idea, but persons who pray with you and encourage you and help you to find ways of accomplishing your dream.
On your journey of becoming a lawyer, I know that law school, it can be, it not can be, but rather it is very
It is.
challenging. Have there been days when you felt as if this is the end? I am not going to continue anymore. I can't be bothered with this. And what was able to help you, to say, you know what, I'm going to recapture this. This is what I aspire to be. And despite my struggles right now, my challenges, I'm going to recapture this vision of being a lawyer. And how were you able to overcome
Listen,
that?
listen. I've had more days, bad days, or days when I said, listen, I am not going to pursue this. It makes sense. I just give this up and just call it a day. But thank God for good friends. And if my friend, if you know my friends, then you'll know that they're good. They're a good push, because there are days when I go to them and like, hey, yo, I cannot do this. Yo, I literally cannot. I freak out. I, I I at the most, it's like when you look at it and you say, all right, this is too hard. Will I be ever able to get around this?
Mhm.
Like sometimes I just have those breakdown moments. But as I said before, I have good friends that will look at me and say, hey Marsha, you can do this. We can do this. Let's do this together. I have lecturers. Sometimes I go to them and I say, hey, you really believe I can do this? And they'll be like, hey, you can do this, because they have been through it already. So they just understand. Say, hey, it's just one of those moments when you think it's a mind thing. You think you cannot do it,
Mhm.
but after you do it, then you look back and you say, "Whoa, where did that moment come from?" But it's part of the journey. It's part of the process. You're gonna have breakdown moments, but just tell yourself that you can do this. As I said, find a support system. I don't well find a good support system. If you're in school, then they have support persons who can support you, who will help you, mentors who will guide you through the process and build back your confidence. So you have to speak into yourself as well.
I agree with you 100%. The concept of self-belief is very vital in recapturing your vision, because if you don't believe in yourself as a person, that I am able to do this, I'm an overcomer, then you can't have
That's right.
someone believing for you. You will never be able to recapture that vision, especially that vision that God has actually given to you as an individual. Now we're going to talk about visualization. How important when capturing our vision should we visualize? What is this process of visualization? What am I to visualize? Can I just look at something and just see it happen? Can you talk to us some more about this?
Looking at something and just see it happen is just is like a deja vu. It's like it's not real. It's like you're just thinking, you're just dreaming, but going after it is very important. Don't just visualize it. You have to go after it. As I said before, have a goal chart, a vision board or something, so you can always look at it and see where you're at. Have little pointers to say like how you're going to achieve them, and every step you just take it as one day at a time, step by step. So it's all, as I said before, I can't stress this enough. Have a little board, have a little book, something that you write it down. uh I used to have this little chart that I put on my door, so if I go out I see it, if I come in I see it. So
Perfect.
it's always there before me. So because it's always there before me, it annoys me. I'm like, I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to get this done now. So I'll just structure off each step I make to get it done or get it accomplished. So that in itself helps me. So that will help you too. If you have your laptop, have that little notification that comes in your calendar, help you to just remember, say you have something to do, because sometimes you tend to forget, or you're bombarded, as you said earlier on, you're overwhelmed with so much ideas that you even forget that one idea that you didn't accomplish. So you have goals or visions that have, like, they are partially accomplished but they have not yet. So you're reaching out, you're on a unsettled, you're like, you're not settled, you're unbalanced. So you need to first finish those goals before you move on to the other. So it is good to have them written down or have them just in your face. Don't leave until you actually accomplish them.
I'm happy you spoke about having a vision board, just having it anywhere that is within your comfort zone. But for many of my listeners, or many people who will listen this broadcast, and they don't know what a vision board is, they have never seen one before, they don't know how it worked. Can you just share your example of some of the things that you have included in your vision board, and also the steps that you have taken to accomplish that which you have, especially now that in a few months from now you will be a lawyer? Can you just share with us?
All right, so this is how it really works. It's nothing really fancy. It don't have to be anything fancy.
Mm-hmm.
You can have just a simple blank sheet,
Yes.
writing down your goal, what you want to accomplish. Say, for instance, you want to go to, like myself, I want to go to law school. All
Mm-hmm.
right, you don't know, say, in order for me to go to law school, I probably need this CXC to do. After doing this CXC, I need to do this CAPE
The
subject.
steps.
After doing
Mm-hmm.
this CAPE subject, I have to probably have to do pre-law. If I don't have to do pre-law, then I know that I have to register for the different schools. So there's like a step to get to being a lawyer or going to law school. So you have to follow those steps. So as you do your CXC, you cross it off, that's done. CAPE, cross it off, that's done. If it's
Mm-hmm.
pre-law, cross it off, that's done. And then you reach university now, you can say, all right, I am near, I'm close. So
Yes.
that's how you really put these steps to get towards that goal. So as I said, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Just have a blank sheet and just write that goal and the steps to achieving it.
Awesome, awesome. And another thing that you can do as well, you can categorize your vision board.
That's right.
Education, finances, relationship, the spiritual aspect of it. And
That's right.
just as Mr. Young said, just be very specific as it relates to your goal and what exactly you need to accomplish. And
That's right.
you have given your goals a timeline, right?
Yes, you have to give your goal timeline, because if you don't, then you'll procrastinate a lot.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, in order to do all of this, giving it a timeline, thinking about what is it that you want to do, when am I going to accomplish it, what resources that I need to accomplish it, one has to be focused in order to do so.
That's right.
And
That's
now
right.
we
That's
are
right.
faced with this pandemic, COVID-19. So how are we here telling people that they need to be focused to recapture their vision? How important it is right now in this time, despite everything that we're seeing happening around us, one can still remain focused.
Listen, this is a perfect moment. Whether or not you want to believe it, this is a perfect moment to recapture, revisit those visions. You see those dead visions, or those visions you had once in the past, and you're thinking about them now. It is time to think about accomplishing them. It's that book that you said you wanted to write. You have like a quiet time. You can focus, because remember, no, before this pandemic, we were all busy
Mhm.
doing our own stuff, so we didn't have time to stop, think, do anything,
Yes.
because we're just trying to do stuff. But now, time has allowed us to slow down, think about the things that you want to do, and even the things that you're embarking on now, they are on a pause. Don't mean that they won't accomplish. Just think more about them, and just put yourself in the mindset, say it's going to be done regardless of this pandemic. It's going to be done. So other little dreams, even those are on the pause now. Other little stuff, as I said before, that you wanted to accomplish, you can just bring them up now. As I said, you can start, just write that book, write that song, if you want to release an album, stuff like that.
Hmm. Now, you're a psalmist, a gospel artist, and you're very much involved in the ministry, in the church, and
That's right.
you have your studies as well. Now, for many young people, they would have excuses to say that I am busy attending school, I have my assignments, I have group works, I have my thesis statement, and the list goes on. But yet still you have found time to be focused and to accomplish your dreams. And what I do believe is that whenever we put the work of God first, we will see
That's
God's
right.
hands first in everything that we do. So for many
That's right.
young people out there, God has called them, and many of them are running away from their calling, and they're not seeing any kind of growth in their lives. Do you believe that this is as a result because we're running away from the things of God and we're running off after material things, what the world has to offer? So we have lost our vision. So I do believe that we need to come back to Christ in order to recapture our vision.
Yes, it is important that you focus also on your kingdom assignment. You cannot neglect the kingdom assignment and then go embark on your own thing, because it's a balance. You have to find a balance. You have to create a balance. It can work, it can work. I've tried it and see there it works. So
Yes.
I'm telling you that it can work. You have to try to find that balance. Don't get overwhelmed. I always tell people, my bishop always cuss me when I say this, but I cannot do more schoolwork than church work. I can't do more church work than schoolwork. I have to
It's
balance it,
balance.
because if
Yes.
you do this, you go crazy. Your mind
Yes.
will go chaotic. So you have to create that balance and just know, say, hey, I have to create a limit on each of them. So for me, when I had the concert, I know that, all right, I have to get all my assignments done at this particular time, so I can go to rehearsal, I can go to this concert. As concert is finished, I probably stay half an hour here, little more of the concert, more artists and what, then go back to what I'm doing. What I also do is that because at some point you have to take some break from studies or work
Yes.
or whatever you're
Mhm.
doing. So that little space, that time, that little break that I get, I use the concert as my break. So
Mhm.
that those are my break time. So if I'm breaking for study, then going to a concert is my break time. So I try to utilize those moments. Try to put in the kingdom assignment
Yes.
and balance the thing. It
Yes.
might it might take me away from leisure activities, but at a later time that will come.
That will come. That will come. Amen. Amen. I do agree with you. So it is very important, my listeners, to remain focused. Now is the perfect time to remain focused because you want to see growth after this pandemic. We all want to
That's
see
right.
growth. We all want to see our lives flourishing to a next level. Now we need to revisit, we need to visualize, and we need to focus. But in
That's right.
doing the three of this, if we don't take control of our lives, we will not have the strength, the tenacity to do all of this. How do
Yeah.
we take control of our lives? How do we do that? Is that
It
possible?
is it is all right to be selfish. You heard me? It is okay to be selfish sometimes. You cannot help others to accomplish their goals and forget to accomplish yours. I think that's what most persons, well, some persons do these days. They try to help persons to accomplish their dreams, their vision, and at the end of the day, they complain that their dream or their goal has not been accomplished. It's because you focus too much on others and not focusing yourself. At some point, you have to
Mhm.
take a step back and say, hey, I got to be selfish. Nothing is wrong with that. To accomplish a goal, you got to take control of yourself. And as I always tell people, that listen, everybody has their time to shine.
Mhm.
And because everybody has their time to shine, when is your time to shine? Shine. Don't dim your light for nobody or to please nobody. Shine bright. That is where this you comes in. This is where you taking control. This is where you put everything else that is distracting you on a whole and focus on you, so you can accomplish that dream or that goal.
For persons that their lives, right now have been bombarded by other people who are just in their spaces. And many people, like we know, they're not the ones who are taking control of their lives. Other people are in control of their lives and they feel as if they're stuck inside of a box. For those people right now who really just want to be themselves, they know that immediately if they take the step to walk away from the things that has been limiting their capacity and step into that newness of embracing oneself, what do you have to say to those people who they feel so trapped right now of how can they get away from that and just be free and live a life of their own?
if you're like me, then it will be hard because I had a difficult time with that. Because I've
Mm-hmm.
always been helping people, doing this for people, and neglecting my own self and things that I want to do. But I got up like one day, I got up and said, you know what, guess what? I know this is going to be painful for me, and people might ridicule me and say, listen, hey, he's gone to our next level, or they might say some stuff. But I was at the point where I was like, I don't care what they say.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, I matter. My life matter. And if you have persons who are around you who don't see that in you, that hey, you need to focus on you at this level,
Mm-hmm.
then something is wrong. You need to cut those persons off. Period. They're not good for you. They're toxic to you, because they have to know that at one point you have to stop and focus on your reality, focus on taking control of your life, doing what you want to do, accomplishing what you want to do. So if you're in a circle, or if you're in a space where you're always helping people, at some point you have to feel bad. You have to feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
So feel bad, and later on you feel good.
I agree with that. And when did you realize that you were not taking control of your own life? Like, can you share some of the things? So, for other people, they don't know if they're actually taking control of their lives or they're not. Can you share that moment you found out, or the moments which led to you finding out that you, Marshawn, you were not taking control of your life and you decided to change?
When I realized that I didn't have control of my life, is when everybody keep telling me what to do, and you
Mhm.
helping people, everybody just want you to be there for them. So I was like, at one point, hey, I'm always there for you. I need to focus on me. But as I said before, people going to get upset. So I had to pull a rope and cut it and say, you know what? At this point, you might hate me, but this is just how it is. I have to focus on me. If I don't focus on me, then I'll help you live your life and I don't live my life. I'll help you control your life and make you better and don't make myself better. And I think that persons who don't, as I said before, if persons around you don't see that, then they are selfish, bad selfish, because you have good selfish. As I mentioned, you have to be selfish around yourself sometimes. So I had to get into being selfish is just not me. But at that point, I had to be selfish and just cut things out. Say, hey, I can't do this right now. I'll help you when I have the time. So I have to focus on this now. I have to get this project now. I have to do this assignment now. I am planning stuff and I have to do it now. So I'll help you at a later time. I'm always there doing it. You have to give me some space. Let me do this now. Sometimes you have to turn the phone off, put the email away, all them something there, and just focus on you. The message, your phone ring, don't even look at it. You got to keep focus on accomplishing what you want.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. And also you spoke about, being passionate about your own dreams. That's something that, I'm really a fan of as well. Celebrating myself. Like the least thing that I do, like having this talk with you, it's a success moment for me, one that I cherish because it places me in the position of actually looking at my journey, looking at where I was yesterday and the level that I am at now. And also
Yeah.
many times when we're doing things, when we're recapturing our vision, we have to be careful from the people we seek advice from. We have to be very careful with
Yes.
that because what I've realized that not everything that we are passionate about will be someone else's passion. And the moment when we share our passion with that person, and especially that person who are closest to us, because those who are closest to us, their voices are stronger, and we tend to listen to them. So, for example, my best friend, this person, I'm very close to her. If she says no, then for me it's gonna be no. But when you know that this is my dream, this is my vision, this is what I want to accomplish, it doesn't matter what the person says. I'm not saying now that we should not take advice from anyone or not to seek counsel, but there must be a time when we can say, this is what I want. This is what you think. I appreciate your response, but this is what I'm going to do. Have you ever experienced any of these moments?
those are persons who we call dream killers,
Mm-hmm.
vision killers. You got to be very, very careful when you're around them or when they're in your space. And they're easy to pick out. Very easy to pick out. I've been in situations like that. They're always bitter. And the focus is always on them. Even when
Yes.
you're trying to push your agenda or show, not really push your agenda per se, but trying to show them your goal or what you want to do or
Mm,
your vision for something, and you show them, they're always like, no, they're always finding something negative to talk about it. That's a sign that there's a killer around you.
mm,
So those persons, you don't really seek advice for, because they don't have your best interest at heart. And if
yeah.
they don't have your best interest at heart, they will do anything to ensure that your vision don't come to.
Mm,
I've literally been there. It broke my heart. It broke me down to tears. Some people that I've trusted, some people I looked up to, like I thought they would be there and help me to bring my, be happy for me.
yes.
As a young man, they expect them supposed to be happy for me. In
Mm,
the kingdom, pastors to me, I'm talking. So I'm expecting them to say, hey, push me to that next level and be so good and happy for me. But no, they end up turn around trying to tear it down. I can remember I wanted a letter of recommendation to go to CTC, to go to Teachers College. And I went to a pastor, when I'm a pastor, and say, can you write a recommendation for me? Yes. So when I got down there, because I was in high school at the time, so leaving from Christian, because yeah, you got Christian, so you know. So leaving
yes.
from Christian to get to Mandeville will probably take me like half an hour.
Yes.
And to go to the other point to get the letter will take me the
Mm-hmm.
next half an hour. But
Mm-hmm.
I was like one of the first person to come off the bus or the taxi to reach to the house.
Yes.
When I got there like 5 minutes after the hour. And did you know the pastor did not sign the letter? Did not give me the letter, none at all. Never sign it, never do nothing. He
Wow.
said to me that if I went to a JP, the JP would tell us, say, his or her hour has passed. Like 6 o'clock is the hour.
Mm,
So 6 o'clock, 5 minutes after six, I still not going to sign it because they came 5 minutes late. So I was like, but I'm not a stranger. I'm somebody that you know. So then and there, I realized that, hey, that was a dream killer right there.
mm,
Because he knows what I want the letter for, and he knows that I have a deadline.
yes.
But that didn't matter.
Mm.
But nevertheless, I
Here
am
you are
grateful for
today.
it,
Yes.
because sometimes the dream killers do stuff, or they try stuff, but instead of it breaks you down or it kills you, it actually builds you. Because I didn't get to go to teachers college, but guess what? I get to go to law school.
Here you
So
are.
you never know. And you just have
Exactly.
to know, so you can't stop. Even though you have dream killers in your camp, you cannot stop. You got to keep moving, keep pushing. Just know, say that was just a bad moment. But don't make that bad moment define you. Don't let that bad moment frustrate you or keep you down. You have to keep going because you know what you want. Other destiny persons, that destiny helpers will come. So don't worry about that one or two dream killer. Just keep going, because destiny helpers will come.
Wow. Powerful story. Powerful story. And look at you today.
Yeah.
How
And I do, mind you, I don't have anything against that pastor
I
though. I
know.
still love that
I know.
pastor.
I know. I know. How important is prayer, the greatest weapon that we have, in our lives as Christians, as children of God. You know, how important is prayer for you in recapturing your vision? How important it is to pray, especially in this time to draw closer to God. How important is prayer for you?
Prayer is vital. It's like a key ingredient. You can't cook without this. You can't breathe without this. This, you have to have it. If you don't have this, then you lose the battle already. Your vision, your goal, it now got accomplished because you don't have no prayer life. You have to have a prayer life. That is what helped me. And most days, sometimes you won't find yourself can't really pray. And prayer is not just clasping your hands or just bowing your head. Sometimes you have to stomp on your bed or stomp on a rock and just have a conversation with God and say, hey, God, help me with this. I'm having a problem with this. Just have that
Yes.
one, just like you talk to a friend. Sometimes that's how you have to talk to him. Sometimes for me, I can't find the words to pray. So you know what I do? I worship, because
Amen.
prayer and worship carries the same weight. So I utilize it to get the same result. So prayer is key, is a key core. I can't stress it no more. Prayer is very important for this when you're embarking on your goal or embarking on your vision. So remember that. If you don't have no prayer life, then your goal is going to be a struggle, because prayer moves mountains. So all of those mountains that are going to be in your way now and in the future to accomplish your goal, when you pray, it might just move the one now and move the one future in the future.
Mhm. Wow, wow. I know many young people who are listening, they might be looking at both of us and saying, what are they talking about? Do they know what I'm going through currently? Do they not see how hard the time is they're talking about praying? When I pray, what happens? But I just
Listen,
want
man. Listen. God don't care. He doesn't care about your circumstances or the hell that is around you. All he's interested in is your faith that you have.
Amen.
He
Amen.
doesn't even know. He knows that, hey, the dream that you have or the vision that you have, it is so big that your bank account can't afford it. And you
Amen.
know, watch that. He's not interested in the amount of money that you have in your bank account. He's not interested in the faith that you have. You know what I'm saying? Have faith like a mustard seed. That's all he wants. And
Amen.
he can do marvelous things if you have
Mm.
that just that little faith. So I understand what you're going through. I know it. I've been there, but guess what? I have to pull myself through. As I said before, prayer is, as I said before, and you asked a question how important
Mhm.
prayer is. This is where the prayer comes in. This is where it helps you to know, say, hey, it doesn't matter if I come from a poor background, my mother don't have the money, my daddy don't have the money. I have stuff that are going to be a big challenge for me to accomplish this goal. You just have to have that faith, say, hey, despite what it is, I will overcome. I will be victorious. This goal, it shall come to pass.
Amen, amen, amen. I do agree. I hope that you have taken note of this. Prayer is the greatest element. You know, we spoke about visualizing, we spoke about revisit, we spoke about being focused and taking control of your life. But if you
Yes.
don't have a prayer life, you will not be able to do any of the four. You will not be able to revisit, visualize, focus, or even taking control of your life. Because in order to take control of your life, you need God to guide you. And prayer is the
Yes.
weapon that we have that will conquer all our fears. And Marshawn, I do know so many people, so many young persons like you and I, they have started out really great, really, really
Yeah.
great. But then a storm just came by and just rocked them, and they are just dormant. What would you say to those persons right now? You know, they have many persons, they have started attending university. They're on their last year of finishing that degree, of finishing that master's program. But then a debt came in the family, you know, finances went bad, health went bad, and they're just at that place, don't know how to recapture their vision, don't know how to get up and start again.
I
Challenging time
don't
in life.
I don't mean to sound cliche, but where there's life, there's hope. As long as you get up today and you find out that you're breathing, then you can take on the world.
I agree.
There's only 24 hours in a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
After the 24 hours, there are going to be other good hours. So you have to find that moment in yourself and say, hey, it boils down to being an introvert. Sometimes you have to be an introvert. You have to be your own encouragement, your own inspiration. There's a death in the family, yeah, but you have to think after the death. There comes a time when you're going to somewhat heal from it. You're
Yeah.
going to miss the person, but the tear and all of that usually have at first instance, it's going to leave you. And then when after that leaving, now you're gonna say to yourself, but where's my goal? I didn't achieve nothing.
Mm.
So you have to find yourself in those moments and say, hey, yo, grandpa gone, mommy gone. But at the end of the day, if they were here, they'll tell me to keep going, and they would want to see me do well. So even though they're not here to celebrate with you, you just tell yourself, say, hey, they're in heaven looking down, and you just keep pushing. So when you keep pushing, when you reach that moment, you just look to the hell, look to the skies, or look to the heavens, and just say, hey, mommy, daddy, grandpa, grandma, spouse, we did it. So you
Mm.
have to find that in you to accomplish it.
Wow. And I have some questions for you from my listeners. They want to know, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? And how confident are you to fulfill those objectives in your life?
5 years from now, I see myself getting married, settling down, trying to build a home, having children, um, owning my own house. Yes, so
Yes.
that's on my bucket list. Spend time doing educational stuff. So next 5 years, I want to see myself owning my own house and just moving on with life.
Moving on with life. Wow. In what way will you put your skills to work to achieve your vision?
All right. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to have a pro bono ministry.
Mhm.
And pro bono ministry is where persons who don't have the money, they have legal problems, but they don't have the money to actually do or get a lawyer to help them out in that situation. So I want to help persons who are in the low income area.
Wow.
So help them to give them free service, help them out.
So that's a charity
And
program.
yeah, basically a charity program, but I don't want to have it like a charity program. But because sometimes they have this thing that pro bono lawyers, they tend not to put more effort in the work that they do because they're actually doing it for free.
Oh,
So
okay.
is just say that it's a pro bono ministry to help persons who don't have the financial background to actually afford a lawyer. So that's one of the things I want to put my
That's good.
skills
That's
into.
good.
Yeah, and as time goes on, I'll think of other creative ways to put my skill into certain things.
How will you try and progress yourself to reach and achieve the vision that you have set for yourself? Like
Like I
right
said,
now, right?
like
Go
I said
ahead.
before, like I said before, get myself in good company.
Mm-hmm.
Can't stress that no more. Just get myself in good company. Network with other persons that who see eye to eye like myself, or they have similar vision or future goals that I have. See how they can help me to accomplish my dream, how I can help them to accomplish their dream, or help somebody else to accomplish their dream. So it's all about networking with other persons, because sometimes you alone cannot do it. Sometimes you want that push from somebody that is in the same position as you are, who knows it. So networking with persons who actually know the thing already is good, as well as being my own push.
Wow. The concept of self again. Keep reminding us
Yes.
about the concept of self, believing in oneself, being determined, being focused, being purpose driven. Marshawn, when I posted that flyer of you on my different social media platform, there was one particular person who messaged me, and the person was actually gloating about your resume. Oh my God, he's so young and he has accomplished all of this. But one want to understand the process that you
Oh
go
man.
through
Mm,
to accomplish. And that person was very depressed. There are many people who are depressed without even knowing. And Marshawn, suicide is real.
I know.
Suicide is real. So we are two young people talking about recapturing the vision, recapturing our vision. Thank God for his grace that is
That's
upon our
right.
lives. When others are saying casting down, we're saying lifting up. For you and I to be on here doing this at this time, not looking how society wants us to look, not speaking how they think would have actually, been talking. But look at us. The grace of God has rewrote our lives, and we are here, passionate, goal-driven young people who are gearing towards, being great successors in life. But for many young people, it's not like that. It's not so
Yeah.
easy. And someone who might even see this broadcast or recapturing the vision, their minds are so corroded with so many things. The bills needs to be paid. The rent is on me. Many people are even homeless at this time, no food to
Yeah.
eat. So in the process of that, that's the reason, when we talked about taking control of your life, it's just finding yourself in that space where it is only you. And in a moment, in such moments, it doesn't matter who comes around and talk to us. We need God. We need
Yeah.
Jesus. With Christ in the vessel, we can smile at any storm. So I will not say that the solution is to be focused. You just need to take on your own self. Yes, that is important, but that can only be more effective, like you said, When you have a balance, you have Christ with you. You're working for
Yes.
him and he will work for you. Right?
That's right. That's right. You have to first believe in yourself. If you're not susceptible to change or susceptible to accomplishing what you want to accomplish, then it will never be accomplished. You can't expect others to believe in you if you don't believe in yourself. You can't expect others to push you if you don't push yourself. So it all boils down to yourself. You have to know that you want this. You got to know that you need this. You want to accomplish this. You're going to do everything. You're going to have that determination to get this done. And that's how it's going to be done. Despite what is happening around you, despite your background, you have to look beyond that and see that there's a future for you and work towards that future.
Wow.
Because I can guarantee you that most of you that are depressed too and feel suicide and all, I've been through those moments. I've been through, it's like a cycle. At one point, I felt like, yo, this is just it. My life crashed. I don't think I'm going to come back to. Let me just forget it. Just live a wasted life until I'm dead. I don't think I can do no more. And in those moments, I have to find myself and say, hey, and I think every time I reach that moment, there's always somebody that comes along because you never know who is looking up to you. Some persons, they're so dependent on your purpose to accomplish their purpose. They're looking up to you to accomplish their purpose. I remember one moment I felt like I couldn't do this no more. I was at school. Literally, I couldn't do it no more. I was done, literally done. And I went on my status, my WhatsApp status, and I was just venting like, I can't do this no more. I can't. And I had somebody, one of my good little brother, he just messaged me and he said that, but if you give up, then I'm going to give up. It's when he said that, I just get back in full gear. I'm like, I cannot, there are persons out there who are depending on my purpose to live, to
Yes.
fulfill their purpose. So you never know who you have around you. So don't think that you're doing this thing for yourself alone. You're doing it for your family. You're doing it for others that are around you, your friends, people that you don't even know. They're looking up to you. Never know who is looking up to you. So you have to create that moment and just tell yourself, say, listen, I'm going to do this because my life depends. There are lives that depends on my life and what I accomplish. So you
Mm.
have to push.
Wow. Powerful. Powerful. Wow. Wow. This is powerful. My purpose depends on someone else's purpose. That is indeed
That's
true.
right.
Wow. Wow. Marshawn, I want to thank you so much for taking the time
It's a
out
pleasure.
to come and
Anytime.
share with the world at large, about how you have recaptured your vision and how can other persons as well recapture their vision. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to do whatever you want to do, to say whatever you want to say. If you want to sing a song, if you want to pray, whatever that is on your heart that you want to share with my listeners on recapturing your vision, you can do so in the way of singing, praying, or just 2 minutes of a
I,
phrase or
I,
anything.
I'll just take a minute or so to just speak into your life.
Yes.
Listen, the purpose in you, it will never die. As long as you're living, the purpose in you will not die. It lives. So you have to find that moment, as I said before, and just get yourself in that full gear going forward. Do not focus on the years it will take for you to accomplish your goals. Because if you focus on the years that it will take to accomplish it, then you will not do it. You'll get frustrated and you feel like this cannot be done. You just have to look ahead and say, hey, let me do this. And sometimes when you do it, when you reach there, you wonder how you reach here this quick. It's because you don't focus on the years. So find that willpower, find that superpower within yourself and push forward. Because there are people who are looking up to you, people who really want to see accomplished so they can accomplish what they want to accomplish. You shall not die. As I said before, you shall not die. You shall live. The purpose in you shall live. You shall not leave earth unless you accomplish your kingdom assignment or accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish. Don't watch the naysayers. Don't watch the dream killers. Keep going. They play an important aspect in your life, They'll help you to push you to the next destination, the next level that you need to go. People who try to ridicule and try to stop your purpose, they have their purpose too, and their purpose is to try to ridicule you whether or not you want to believe it, so they can push you. It's just like Jesus and Judas. What Judas did to Christ, Christ didn't react to it bad or negative to it. What Judas did not know is that Judas did not know that he was pushing Christ into his purpose, into his kingdom assignment, into his destiny. So people that are around you, don't watch them when they're doing whatever. I know it might hurt and it might bring us to tears, because some of those persons that are doing the stuff to you, they are persons that are close to you. But you can't watch that, as I said before. You got to keep moving. Find a power within you. I know you're depressed and you say, I don't have the money, I don't have the funds, I don't have the support. I don't think I can do this. I don't have the energy for this. I'm going to need significant help that I don't have. Find it in you. I know that, listen, you have provision. He is a God that have provision stores up in heaven. He has a lot of provision up there. And if he has that, and if you pray to him and you ask him to help you, he's going to respond with help. He's going to help you in some ways, in unexpected ways. All that he needs for you to do is to take a step. Take a step out the low the bar. Take a step out of the dead situation. Take a step out of it and move into life. You hear me? Walk into purpose. Walk into destiny. Come out and lower the bar and get into your destiny. Walk on it. Don't, no matter what, just tell yourself that I will accomplish this. Come high or come low. If I die on the way, I will die on the way, but I will get on this. And I come up at all costs. I will try to accomplish this. I will accomplish this. And find persons in your network will help you, to push you, to pray with you. Some person might not have the money to give you, but if they can pray with you, that is fine, because you never know their power in the tongue. Some persons, there are people who speak or command the atmosphere. When they command the atmosphere, it works in your favor. Sometimes you have to find those persons within your corner. So it doesn't matter what it is in your life. It doesn't matter. I don't care how bad it is. It is not so bad that God cannot help you out of it. It is not so bad that God won't send help your way to help you out of it. So continue, bask in what you, recapture that vision. Go back to that joint board. Think about the things that you want to do. Think about the career path that you want to accomplish. It doesn't matter how old you are either. So think about all those things that those fancy stuff that you want to do. Think about them and know that them can be accomplished. Once you put your mind to it, once you put your mind, your heart, your body and soul into it, then it will accomplish. Because if you're not in it, if you just talk, so you want to accomplish it, and you don't put your mind to it or put your heart or your will to it, then it will just be something that is just want to, but you will never accomplish it. So just go after your purpose. Come what may, go after your purpose. It is yours. The world is yours. Destiny is yours. It's awaiting you. Bask in it, run in it, jump in it, fly in it.
There you have heard it from no other than Marshawn Young, the passionate, goal-oriented, and result-oriented one. It is a pleasure to have you, the first male on Shauna-Kay's Motivational Breeze.
I'm honored.
It is a pleasure. Such an insightful conversation, such a mind-boggling conversation, very encouraging, very inspiring. I have learned so much. Your journey is very fruitful. May God continue to bless you. May he continue to empower and advance you. And I know too that this will not be your last time on any other talk shows or any other public platform, sharing your story, sharing your journey of becoming, sharing how you have captured your vision as a young man. I'm very proud to have known you. Very proud to have you here. Thank you so much. And to my listeners from near and far, wherever you are at this time, I want to thank you for taking the opportunity to listen to another episode of Shauna-Kay's Motivational Breeze. I know you all have been inspired. You all have been encouraged. God bless you. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to share with someone. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to leave a comment of how you too have recaptured your vision. God bless you.
Thank